very remote in just a matter of moments. Let's talk about the economy, though. You mentioned it a couple of times in there. Are you optimistic about Anchorage's economy, or let's just say Alaska's economy right now? We are all linked together. Are you optimistic about the future?
I'm optimistic about the future in most respects, and the nation's future and the Alaskan future as well. But I think it boils down to the decisions that we make going forward, where we invest not only financially, but our energy toward. I think I spoke a great deal on our youth, and we have so much potential to develop ourselves from an infrastructure standpoint, to be able to develop those economic hubs that we all spoke about, but also our natural resource, our oil. And if we can retain the talent that we have developed here in our youth to educate our folks, to get engineers, educated here in Alaska, to get financial professionals educated here in Alaska, or even if they're gone out, to come back to Alaska, they need positive incentives so we can run our own state and we can control our future. And we don't just let one particular area of our sector dictate whether or not we're going to be financially healthy. We spoke a fair amount about the cost of living. And quite frankly, Alaska is one of the best places to live on the planet. And so, yes, I think we pay a premium. And I think that premium keeps other folks out to a certain degree, which is not necessarily bad. But I don't believe that 100% of that premium is attributed to just the sheer beauty and the people of Alaska. There's other things that we definitely need to work out. But yes, in the development of our youth, in the development of our natural resources in a responsible manner, I think the future of Alaska is bright.
Mike, I want to go up to you. Your perspective from Valdez. It's an oil town in many regards. You get the oil shipped there, you ship it out. What's your take on the future of Alaska's oil industry? 89, 90%, depending on who you talk to, of our revenues come from oil dollars. How's our future looking to you?
Our future looks good to me from what I've seen and the people that I talk to. There's still the offshore oil fields that we're developing, and there's still the natural gas that we haven't even tapped into. That's a big political hot potato for the governor race next year. So if you want to do something, I'd say look at the people that are going to utilize the Alaska resources for Alaska. That's a big point. And if we want to do something, we have to put our votes where those count and make sure that we're supporting people that support Alaska. That's a big thing.
Henry, I want to get you in on this. We saw how fragile our economy can be when the F-16 issue arose in Fairbanks. They were talking about moving that squadron to Anchorage. Would have had a devastating impact on the Fairbanks area. We can see just how one sector can really send a community in a tailspin.
Yes, because it would have talked about closing down the Air Force base there, and they had been talking about it some years, closing it down.
It was on the base closure list, yes.
It was on the list of one of the bases that they were going to close down, but they decided to keep it there, and so that was one of the things that really enhanced also Fairbanks and the Owlson Air Force Base, because we're sort of like in between the two bases there, and if they had pulled out the one, it really would have left Fairbanks devastated there because of the people that they were going to pull out with those F-1s.
Yeah, the F-16.
F-16s, I'm sorry.
Henry, one more issue, just if I could, about Fairbanks. We have really tried to document the impact that high energy prices are having, particularly in the interior. A lot of families have been rocked hard up there with the high cost of energy. Here we are in an energy-producing state, yet we have those kinds of situations. Tell us, what's it like to get that fuel bill, to get that power bill every month?
It's really devastating because we have neighbors that had been there some 30, 40, 50 years, and they decided just to pull out, to leave, to go south. Those that decided to stay, they had gone back to cutting wood, hauling their own wood, cutting it and, processing it, doing all the things that they needed to do to cut down on their fuel bill, because it was to the place where it was no longer they could, obtain their children, the home, their businesses, none of those things. So that's what they decided to do. Some pull out, and the others went back to cutting their own wood and processing it, and going that direction.
Henry, thank you for that perspective. We're going to take another break. We'll be back with more of One Alaska, Our Home right after this. Welcome back to One Alaska, Our Home. We want to go around the panel one last time here and get some perspectives from different parts of the state. Jojo Prince, we're going to start with you and the view from Bethel. Tell me about a project or an issue that Bethel faced that the community came together on and solved.
Well, for one, they got a new swimming pool coming up, and we voted in a 1% sales tax, so we're paying 6% now, and there's a new swimming pool going up for the kids to go have something to do. Mm-hmm. So that'll be done in the spring, I think.
And that might address one of the issues that you were talking about in your vignette earlier on, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, how about taxes really quick here, real quick? Are you opposed to sales taxes or income taxes in the state of Alaska, or any conditions to that, or just you're all jumping out of your seat on that one?
Okay. I'm opposed to the sales tax, to the sales tax and the income tax.
Okay.
I think it should be solved at a local level with your property tax base.
Okay. And Susan?
Well, I've been here long enough that we used to pay school tax, and it was a very minimal fee, and it was, I don't know, it was $10 or $20 out of your first paycheck of the year. And it wasn't that it created a lot of, it wasn't a huge amount of money, but it connected you. It was a way to say, this is what's happening, and this is how we're all connected, we're all doing this. So it was, I don't think it was so much the money, it was the intent and the connection.
Okay. Susan, thank you. Mike, let's go back up to you. What a project that you solved, an issue or a problem that you solved in Valdez?
Right now, to help deal with the cost of energy, it's not a matter of trying to lower it, it's a matter of trying to stabilize it and keep it from going up anymore, as we are working on a dam to add to the capacity for the dam that we have now that traditionally runs dry in the winter. So that's one project we're trying to work on for the energy, and then we're also trying to beautify the community through our downtown corridor to help give it that charm back that it lost in '64.
Henry, and really quickly, what project up in Fairbanks that you're proud of?
I think one of the things that we're proud of, we are trying to get the natural gas coming through Fairbanks. That's one of the things, because I think you all have it here, right?
Natural gas. Fried cooking, yes.
Right, and we had been wondering why. So at Chamber of Commerce and all those business meetings, we've been coming together trying to get that on the board so we can have natural gas in Fairbanks.
All right. And Frank, out in Alaska.
Well, we have a couple of major projects. Right now we're doing a major rework of our wastewater plant and also our water treatment facility. And a lot of those projects we're entertaining raising our sales tax. Sales tax, to me, I think is a good way to work on projects. We have a 3% sales tax there, but we have a lot of influx of Seattle-based fishermen and stuff that help buy an enormous amount of fuel that help offset the cost to the locals. So that way we don't have to dump the load with rate increases and property taxes on the local residents. So I think sales taxes are a good thing and generate a lot of revenue.
Frank, thanks. Susan?
Well, Kenai Soldotna we're going to count as one place. Sure. And so for the purposes, our new cancer center is something that is going to be invaluable so that people won't have to, they won't have to come to Anchorage. And for some people, that means that they will have treatment that they might not otherwise have. So it's a life-saving addition to our community.
Great. Susan, thanks. Marjorie?
NOME has many things that we've done in the last few years, but one thing that I'm really particularly proud of the issues is bringing cultural knowledge into the classroom and bringing it to the youth so that they could be more involved. And so that's one of the things that we're really working hard on. We have a group called Cultural Planners where we involve the entire community with cultural activities. And another thing, too, another campaign that was really successful was tobacco-free restaurants in public places. And I know Bethel did a really excellent job in tobacco-free, and that's a movement that's really strong right now that we're very proud of.
Great. Marjorie, thanks. Lafette? How about our hometown here?
No, there's a whole bunch going on in Anchorage on the development front. Introducing new chain stores, and that's positive, and it's negative to a certain degree because it takes away the natural vibe, the feel of Anchorage and what makes Anchorage an Alaskan city. But on the other side of that, one thing that I've been involved in and that I really like is that not only do we have this infrastructure development, we're trying to hold and fortify some of the things that we currently have. like Beach Lake area, a series of cabins that we can very much move back toward being enveloped or being right in the middle of Alaskans' beauty and retaining that in our area.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate the comments. And panelists, can't thank you enough for coming to Anchorage and sharing your thoughts and perspectives on what's going on around our state. We could go on for hours, I think, and learn a whole lot more from all of you. Thanks so much for your insights. That's going to do it for One Alaska, our home. And for all the folks, especially behind the camera and in our control room, I want to thank them very much for all their hard work to make this program possible. For all of us here at Channel 2 News, I'm Steve McDonald reporting. Have a good day, everyone.